And we're live.
Hello! Hey, everybody! If there's anybody there, welcome to the Hexagon TTRPG. I'm Brent, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for today's adventure. We're going to be diving into Progenitors' Bloodlines. So grab your dice, settle in, and let's roll. Today, we are going to be playing with my man sitting in the chair in his office, Simon.
Hello. As always, I'll be playing Wilm Fair, and a little known fact about Wilm is that the early days of his, stay at the facility, he didn't have he tried to get outside news over and over, but he couldn't. Like, the longer he stayed there, just the less he knew about the world, and he was starting to get really he went into almost like a depression. And it was thanks to um, one of the lab assistants there that managed to convince someone to get him the newspapers as a reward for his good behavior and his the performance during the tests. The lab assistant's name was Rebecca.
Ooh. Rebecca, I'd love to find out more about her as we continue to play. And who I will be playing when I learn about Rebecca is Otto, the arachnid member of the group, who definitely has not developed a addiction to caffeine, because the way that caffeine interacts with his body causes a whole slurry of problems, from his behavior and attitude to the way and the formation of his web. Like, he accidentally got some from one of the researchers, and he did not want to go in that enclosure afterwards. It was really odd and kind of interesting but gross, and just it's a lot. So keep caffeine away from old
Hold
Otto
on.
over
What
here.
do we mean by gross?
It changed the way the secretion of the webbing was affected as well. It's not a good time.
I just web half in, half out of Otto, and he's like, "Don't come in."
That's pretty nasty. I'm curious what it would look like if you were on cocaine or something,
That was one of the experiments they did, actually. Just different webbing on different drugs.
Different substances, and see how freaking crazy your web can get.
Yeah, I'm marking that down as a fact. It says it's just other drugs, question mark, question mark.
Yeah. I'm Peter. I'm playing Tomas, the bald Tarzan. Little known fact, even unknown to Tomas himself, since he no longer has memories of his previous life. He used to be a trapeze artist. He was in a circus, which might explain why he was selected to be part of these experiments to begin with, because he's so good at climbing. He's a natural fighter, climber, jumper, crazy athletic build. So yeah, he's kind of a jumpy, bouncy boy.
Very interesting.
Does that mean it's my turn?
It is your turn.
All right, so I'm Diana, and I'm playing Queen P314. A little known fact about her is when she showed up on Earth, her new favorite food is Hawaiian pizza, extra added anchovies.
Okay.
That's her favorite food now, but in space, I don't know space food too well outside the character, but something related to some jelly donuts, some space jelly donuts. Also,
Okay.
someone's knocking, so give me a moment.
Space jelly donuts. I wrote it down. Very interesting. I love Hawaiian pizza with anchovies because I like Hawaiian pizza and I love anchovies. I'm that weirdo. My goodness. Well, these are some good facts. I am going to say to all the players today, I didn't write down the facts last time and I regretted it. So if you guys could send me the previous round of facts or previous few rounds of facts, I'm gonna be adding them slowly to the character sheets as time goes on, just in case I get any more good tidbits like Rebecca that I might be able to reference. But enough of that. Make sure you say hi if you're in chat, and if you're new, hit that follow button to stay in the loop. You can catch up on all our past episodes and content over on YouTube, also Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, but all of it's on YouTube at the Hexagon TTRPG. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's dive in. Last time on Progenitors Bloodlines, we had a big episode where everything that was happening in the current day came to a head. Big magic was raining down, exploding. Someone got vaporized into mist. There was like a clone situation, two people swirling through the air. Maybe ego death for one of those clones as it was absorbed. Quinn's boss got killed. A space station was hitting down on Texas. What was Texas? And we find ourselves now after a great feat of magic performed by the one known as Enoch, waking up in a grassy plain, and I think Otto, Tomas, Wilm, Quinn, just opening your eyes slowly as you get up. Quinn, your helmet's still on.
Always.
And you see Mentor kind of like flickering back up, just going like, "Oh, you're awake! Fantastic!" And I think you notice right away that Mentor just kind of like jumps out of your helmet and kind of like floats through the air and seems to be like walking where they will. Um,
Mhm.
and this was a byproduct of the combination um, of Enoch's Apollo and your
Mhm.
purpose.
They merged into a better AI.
Better is question. I think the best word for this is different.
Okay.
It is a new being, maybe a child of the two in a sense.
Okay.
So a little bit of a stranger actually. And so I think as you watch them, it is not your usual. They don't have any of those mannerisms or the kind of like quick quipping that you kind of had
Mhm.
Hermes going on, where he was kind of like tittery and laughy. Um, and as you all wake up here in this field, beautiful day, sun shining, wind just and this like wheat stalks kind of thing. And as you like look out over this kind of like expanse, you realize that you're all on a plateau, and down in the valley before you lies also kind of like slowly stirring, some people already awake, and like there's like a stream nearby where some people are like going to drink water. There is 2,000 people, or
Oh
sorry,
god.
hey Quinn, we were having a discussion pre-stream.
Mhm.
What's your decision?
Okay, I'll have the people. You
We have
convinced.
2,000 people.
I'll have 2,000 people. Jesus, that's a lot of people. Hey, mentor, you're gonna help me parent these guys, right?
Yeah, and Mentor looks down at you and he goes, "Sure." Looks down at the valley, looks back at you, goes, "Sure." Um,
Thanks, I
and,
need
and,
it.
and as you say that and walk up, all of you kind of slowly getting to your feet, and I think taking your time. And I'll have you each describe how you wake up from what was essentially a long dream. Um, as you see Quinn standing there.
I mean, that's tough. I think Wilm's definitely going to kind of glance around, trying because the last thing he remembers is being in that in that crater. So they had been fighting these what they had dubbed the fallen angels in,
Mhm.
and then this, for lack of better terms, other angelic being casting off this giant magic, and that was the last memory he had till now. So looking around, trying to like kind of get just an idea of his surroundings. Is he in the same place? Is it a completely different world? Like, where exactly does he find himself? And is he does he still have all of his uh, well capabilities? Does he still have all his limbs? What happened in the past little while, and he's gonna try and figure things out, like what he missed and what's happening.
Do you reach for that power kind of right away to try and center yourself?
No. I think the main concern for him is definitely figuring out where he is, and like as he looks around, he recognizes. I'm assuming Quinn, Otto, and Tomas, but he doesn't recognize the people further away. So he might kind of shy away from that and try and kind of have a little huddle with the others, just to be like to compare notes. That would be his
Absolutely.
first reaction. Like, what's happening here?
I will say, even without reaching for that power, you feel that the comfort of the sun,
Okay.
right? And I think that that's a little bit of almost like a bridge between where you last left off and waking up now. Is that when you last left off, you had discovered those powers and you had started to feel that kind of resonance, um, and it's stronger now, but because you are in full sunlight now, there's no clouds, there's no space station or fiery sky full of smoke and buildings and obstructions. Like, it is just clear, open, and you are bathed in sunlight. And I think you just like are very aware of that. And not that it doesn't mean power, but I think that it's close enough.
Yeah, sunlight's always been important to him. Cool.
That being said, maybe Tomas, you're waking up.
Yeah, I think as soon as he hears the others start to rustle, he kind of like perks his head up, and the drill dog as well kind of perks up, and we're sort of like cuddled together in a part of the grass. And he'll get up and sort of look around. What is this place?
Well, I believe it's our new home
Hmm.
for
Is
now. Mentor, is this our new home?
Mentor like comes back around, like hands behind their back, just like walking over and goes, "Well, there's one more that's got to wake up." He like peers down at Otto. Otto, how do you wake up?
I think maybe I am awake, but I keep my eyes closed and I let my other senses kind of tell me things before I open my eyes. So I feel the temperature and I try and listen to what's around me. Perhaps taste.
Yeah, maybe you notice something that the others don't. Just taking that extra moment as Mentor, looks down at you, and then you end up opening your eyes as you begin to get up and join them. But you hear maybe some, insects crawling in the earth. You hear wing beats from some birds in the distance. You hear like trees and leaves, and as you get up and look, there's not only that valley in front of you, but as you take a quick glance around, there's like a forest a ways back. And it's kind of startling, right? All of these senses coming in at once. There's all these new things where there wasn't before. And I think that gap is very evident to everybody here, right? It was one moment we're in a city surrounded by death and destruction, and now we're here in this pleasant scenario. As you all take this moment and come together to parlay, Mentor walks in the middle of you all, and you see the visage of Enoch form in his hand. And Enoch simply says, "This is a recording. The future is left up to all of you. Make of it what you can and what you will. Quinn, I wish you the best of luck. And may you find happiness." He smiles, a bit of a sad smile, And Mentor just kind of looks at this and lets the recording go and says, "This is all the data that I have left of Enoch." And he looks at you, Quinn, and goes, I don't have that many memories of you or him. And it seems like this was intentional. I have a lot of knowledge, and and you see his eyes darting as he's thinking. I have a lot of rules, or basically there are trials that need to be overcome for me to impart or deliver this to you. They are gates. And he like raises like, any you see that he can create these kind of like moving these little holograms in front of him. And while Mentor can look like very real, the holograms look like a little bit less real than he does, as he like can like create these movements. Almost looks like magic. But Quinn knows that this is purely technology. His Mentor is doing this, and you can see that he's like visualizing basically like some storage that he has, and it's like there are like these files that are protected, and then there's like these stipulations for them to be opened. He goes, I'm decoding what these stipulations are right now, but I know that the first of them is something kind of strange. It says build a home.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Well, before we got here, our my dear boss wanted us to make a role that's kind of better for the future. We left one behind in order to make a better one ahead. At least that's what I think he wants me to do. Not that I'm really the best person to be put in charge for that. That's why I need your help, mentor. So once we build a house, I guess, lodging for, oh god, and I look at all the people. For them, I guess maybe we'll find out more on how to move ahead.
Agreed. I think there is an irony in that my name is Mentor, and yet as you turn to me, I turn to all of you. There are strange gaps in my knowledge, my memory. There's only so much I can do. And so I think the more that you learn, the more I will know, and the more of use I will be. Oh,
Well,
someone's coming. And he just kind of like looks off to the side,
hmm?
and you see a onyx black silhouette of like just like first a hand and then whoa, and a full bodied able being jumps over the edge of the kind of like cliff that was leading down to the valley. You see that that's like stony black skin, huge, is like 6.5 feet, super muscled, wide. um, you can see that there are these geometric markings, basically across their, like around their face and then onto their chest, connecting onto their back. Peter, why don't you describe the markings on this person who just walked?
All right, so I had to go deal with the cats. I came in. You described the black stony skin and the geometric markings reaching around the back. Was there anything else I missed?
Nope, that was it. They're
Okay,
really
right.
muscular looking.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think wearing like a like a loincloth kind of deal right
Perfect.
now.
Yeah, can we say they just always have like a permanently furrowed brow?
Absolutely. I want you to describe how this person looks to all of us.
Okay, yeah. So it kind of just looks generally displeased, but maybe also like a little bit of a deadpan expression. The geometric shapes, I'm imagining kind of like the carpet from The Shining, that kind of just like break down along the side of the face, down and then around to towards the back.
Man, that is an obscure reference. I gotta look that up. Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and just really really muscular, got that like Dorito bod. Yeah, big feet. for whoever wants that.
I'm grabbing it for everyone at home. Heck yeah. So how does this connect down and then around? Or is it just that pattern, like kind of like all over the place going on them?
Yeah, I think it's like symmetrical. So like it starts on either side of the face, and then as it comes down, maybe it like even meets down the middle, but then breaks off again to go and meet down the back. And then I guess if you're looking at his back, it kind of goes down like into his butt crack. It like merges again down into a line straight down into the butt crack.
Incredible. Yes, absolutely. So you see this this person come up. He goes, I'm Kalen. Who are all of you? And he looks at everyone, but his gaze really lingers on you, Tomas. And then he ends up looking back at everyone else, but he, you feel that moment of like almost like an awkward, like a second too long of just like looking at you, and then kind of shakes his head and looks at everybody.
I'm just staring at him.
Yeah, he looks. People are silent. You're staring at him. He looks straight back at you.
You might want to introduce yourself.
I am Tomas.
And you see in a flurry of movement that he basically like starts angling his body, moving an arm towards you. What do you do?
I kind of just like instinctively reach out to like block like an incoming strike. At least that's sort of the first impression I get.
And as you get that arm out in front of you, meeting his, it's a predator handshake. As you grip onto each other. Kind of a block, also a grapple, a grab. And he locks eyes with you. He says, I feel power from all of you. I feel a connection to you. I was the first to wake. And he lets go of your arm. There are many people down there. They are without aim. They are waking. We have but water. And all of you seem, I can feel it, powerful. We will need help. We will need to work together.
Do I send like as he says this? Have we seen all the other people at this point?
You haven't really looked too closely,
okay.
I think, yet. So
Yeah, just further
he's the
away.
first to come up so close to you guys. And I think all of you clock right away, like there are little similarities between Tomas and this individual. And even like when you clasp arms in that moment, I think it's obvious to everybody that what Enoch was saying about that little piece of yourself has been spread.
I think for a moment, the little face on Tomas's forehead kind of like it's like it's only just waking up. It's like and it like looks around, and then I think it gets sort of this like flood of like feelings from all these people that we can't really see yet, and it's just kind of like creates like a
Ooh.
paralyzing sensation in Tomas for a moment.
Yeah, roll me first roll of the session. Roll me an intellect roll.
Okay.
I don't have a particular number in mind.
All right. Natural one.
Oh my god.
Oh wow! Yes, it's crying. I think but as it cries, you see that those patterns on Kalen's skin begin to take on a little bit of a blue, like a bluish tint. And you can see he goes, "Oh, I will begin to try to calm the people. All of you, I do not know you, and you have not introduced yourselves, but there will be time. And he turns around and just jumps down the cliff. And you see him like just hit the bottom. And he like jogs over to a small group of other like stone-skinned individuals, none of which are as large as him, none of which are as muscular. You see one of them even just like has some like patterns, but it's like totally normal skinned. And he starts kind of like talking to them animatedly, and then they start going to basically you see them spread out, Tomas, and they start to gather people a little bit. You see that they're talking, and there seems to now be like a little bit of a wave going on of communication. There's some sort of word being spread.
He is quick to action. Do you see he just woke up and he's already speaking to everybody? Quite trusting and open.
Well, he was feeling like he could sense something about us. Maybe he can sense something in them too. Maybe.
It's
I'm
interesting.
not sure.
Oh, that's-
What I know is that we have to figure out what we're doing. Especially with 2,000 people waiting there. I think it's around 2,000 people. Maybe even more, maybe even less. I don't know.
Why does it fall to us?
Sorry, when you're saying this, and you see Mentor like like an abacus, like there's exactly 2,000 people.
Well, there you go. He confirmed. I think it's because that's what I promised my boss. Not that I necessarily want to do it, but at this point, it's my duty. I'm the sort of storyline where I'm a klutz and I gotta be a hero, even though I don't know what that means. But I think that's what I'm supposed to. You guys are gonna help out, right?
We should help them. They seem to all be in so much pain.
Oh,
I sense nothing.
Me
I do not even sense
neither.
power.
How is there someone with these sorts, like, I mean, before the tests and everything in the lab, these powers, this wasn't something prevalent or widespread in the world. Now suddenly someone's coming up to us and saying they can sense power in us. We were chased by people from the skies, and now we're just given some sort of mandate to take care of civilians. But what is happening?
the way I see it is we're in the middle of nowhere with what he mentioned was just water. So at this point, we're just trying to survive. I cannot get us out of here. Neither can Mentor, and time is kind of clicking on. Not the clicking is moving on us. So
Agreed.
at this point, I don't know. I'm thinking survival. We gotta figure out food. We gotta figure out, are there dangers around? Maybe the people are dangerous, but hopefully not.
Mentor kind of just taps. You see he's like just tapping his fingers together. He doesn't, looks like he's missing something. He
Mm.
says, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. I believe that was a bit of wisdom in this world.
Yeah.
Looks at Wilm. I don't know rightly what you're supposed to do, but I do know that I have something for the people here. Specifically, you are all named. that I am able to give this information to once you, quote, build a home, unquote. I do not know if this is collaborative or specific. I'm sure that perhaps you can do these things on your own, but I will only know, I think, the next until you achieve this accomplishment. It's up to you how you do so.
All right.
Otto, are you still listening
To the world?
to the world?
Yeah.
You hear a scream, like just off in the distance.
Can I, can I ignore it?
Absolutely.
Damn.
In my head.
Unfazed.
More pressing matters for now. Tomas, do you feel a pull towards that individual?
I felt like he could pull me quite easily, yes.
If we are to build a home, perhaps he and his kind are the ones that will fill your home?
A home. It's so strange. I'm not even sure what that means.
Well, until we figure that out, I suppose finding some source of food is the first thing on our list. Although how we'll find anything for everyone is going to be quite a task.
Well, there may be a predator in our midst. I heard a scream off in the distance. Not quite sure what the cause was.
I mean, I'm going to look over to this Kaylin.
Kaylin.
Did they jump off towards something suddenly?
They don't seem to be reacting to whatever Otto is talking about. Do you like look around, like away from the group, or basically like in other directions?
Well, I mean, Otto just said that he heard a scream.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how this Kaylin had like gone off and started trying to help people, I assume that like I have made the assumption that he would react to a scream if there was one that was heard. So I was trying
Doesn't
to
look
see.
like people are reacting. So you see, like he's like Kalen's there, like he's this big black figure, right? So he's kind of hard to miss even from a distance because he's large and dark against this like bright sunny landscape. And there's no commotion happening with the other people. Doesn't seem like much is going on there.
Okay. It's a bit weird that no one's reacting. Otto, where was this scream coming from?
I believe if I can tell where it is, I'll point. But if it was kind of like a scream, a generic scream, then I'll say I don't know.
Yeah, roll me a speed for the technique. Pinpoint it.
Is that a 6 or a 9? That's a 9.
On 9, you close your eyes, tilt your head, and that memory comes back to mind, and you point in a direction where you think you heard that scream from.
Is it the same direction from where the people are? Like most of the.
It is definitely not. It's more
Okay.
towards that forest that Otto was aware of kind of in the beginning.
Okay.
So Mentor kind of like skips over there and goes, Oh, there's some people this way.
Screams are rarely good. Everyone here seems like they're all right for now. Let's go see what happens. Well, I'll go see what happened. If it's in
Mentor,
this direction, we'll see.
before we go too far, when and where exactly are we? Do you know that much?
You're talking to Mentor?
Yeah.
Mentor just kind of shrugs. We are here.
Mhm.
And you see that he like can hover maybe 10 feet above all of you, so he gets a bit of a higher vantage point, and you see him
Mhm.
looking around, and he just comes back to you and says, I can't really, so this is a high point here, and I see water to the east, I see water to the west, the north, it seems like really far out there might be some water, south could be some water, so fair to say that this looks like an
Yeah.
island of some sort, but something could be obscuring my vision.
Mhm.
You know, I'm
And
not.
do you have a time?
He goes, what about? Don't you have points at your wrist.
Do I have a watch?
You have a D-pad.
Oh my god, I forgot. I'm so sorry.
All good. He
I forgot
reminds
like my
you
name.
that you have this. And as you look at it, you notice that your D-pad is enhanced.
Oh my.
It's like it's, any video game style. It's got more detail on it
Mhm.
now. There's a little bit of gold in there.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, I checked the D-pad. All this time, I just woke up. I was so out of it.
And you start taking a look at your D-pad. So you have all of the regular functions, and then I believe I'd come up with some additional functions that I don't know if I sent to you, but I will resend you later. But basically, there's a couple other of like features that you get if you want. There is a mapping feature. The mapping feature is only, I think it's I forget what I wrote, something like 300 meters. It's not that much, but it is enough that you would be able to get like this is what it looks like currently around me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, I'm gonna try and find the D-pad details. While we're doing that, we can check with the people.
Absolutely, yeah. So you all of you see Quinn start messing with the D-pad in front of her.
Willem just goes off towards the forest.
Perfect. And Willem, so you right away, Willem, you get to the edge of the cliff space towards that forest piece. And the forest space, which is to the west, you see there's a group of people who are running away from the forest. And you see that one of them like turns back and then does a motion, and you see a thin line of fire spread on the ground in front of them. And then they turn and they like running to catch up. Out from the forest behind them comes what appears to be a enormous kind of like creature just like slinking forward. And as it comes out, it's a little bit hard to see. It's like a little bit of a ways away at this point, but as you like focus your vision and kind of like zooms into focus as you look at it, you notice that this is a sort of like feathered creature. It has a long neck. It seems like as it like clicks its like beak, there's like some teeth, some serrated teeth. It has just some like dark, like deep set eyes, but there's like ridges on the top of its head. What else could I describe? The feet are like akin to what you would remember, and I think like you get like a flash of like what a chicken would look like. So it's like bird-like with a little added kind of reptilianness. For all intents and purposes, this is like a basilisk.
Yeah. Okay. I'll kind of turn back to the others and scream and shout. It looks like there's some people being chased by some sort of creature. I think they might need our help more than the others at the moment.
Lunch.
If we wanted a source of food, this might be it.
All right. Come, boy.
Yeah, I'll walk towards this creature that's running towards the group of people that are running towards us.
I'll come with you.
I'll try and meet with the people running towards us rather than interact with this holy shit creature.
This holy shit.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
Yeah,
No,
like a
not the
chicken.
goats.
Maybe it'll taste like a chicken.
Maybe. Tastes just like chicken. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna get into a little time crunchy piece right now. So who is going where exactly? Are we splitting into groups? Is anybody staying here?
I guess like if they're running fast enough, I should just stay and let them approach me if I want to be like, hey, we're trying to help.
Are you trying to like
I'll do that.
stop them, or are you trying
Yeah.
to just like talk to them as they are trying to stop them?
Yeah.
Okay,
Not with
perfect.
force because I'm weak as fuck.
Yeah, you're definitely able to. Whoever wants to go to the people first can get there before the basilisk is able to catch up. It seems to like be held up by the fire, for a moment. It's just kind of like looking, and then it like starts to beat its wings and it's going to try and put out the flame. So, is it just Otto going to those people?
I mean, Wilm will pass by the people because, like, assuming going through these people running away is going to be the quickest direction and like towards this creature rather than
So
going
there,
around them.
let me set the stage a little bit. So you're on this like higher ridge, which is like grassy at the top, a little bit of wheat, and then lower around you, you have on one side, so on the east side, basically on the right side, if you're facing north, there's a bit of a valley, a little bit of a river. It's very quiet, sheltered. To the north of you, kind of gets like a little bit plainsy, a little bit barren. To the south, I mean, I'm looking at the starter map also as I'm saying this. The south, there's like a little copse of trees, and then to the west, and which is to the left, there's this like little forest that's here, and that's where the basilisk is coming out. So the people are not running straight at you where the cliff is. They're kind of angling because they want to get around this cliff side, presumably back to where all the other people are. So if you want to intercept them, basically it's like you have to you go a little bit out of your way, but the basilisk is aiming right towards them. So if you want to go straight towards the basilisk, you would miss the people technically.
Okay. Is it safe to just go down, like looking at the I guess cliff face in front of us? Is it safe to just go down it, or like would we also have to go like find a way around?
You think you could do it? I mean, you're strong. You know that you're a progenitor in nature. Not that you guys call yourselves that necessarily, but
Well, he's assuming that Tomas can do it pretty easily, but it's more like with his physical capabilities, would he think that he could scale it, scale down it rather?
roll me a might or a speed difficulty 1, and we'll see. And for Tomas, you also choose to run. You have an asset that makes this 0, so you just make
4.
a 4. And so basically you start to bound down the slope and like slide here and there, and it's you're paying attention, but you're able to do it.
Okay. Yeah, no, because if it is something that he could do, then he would just go directly to the basilisk rather than take a detour and potentially waste time.
So you go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misunderstood. I should have made you roll an intellect to like measure it out and then do the.
I took the risk. It was a bear thing. Very, very close
You
thing.
just made it. Tomas, what are you doing? Are you running straight down after Wilm?
Yeah, I'm falling behind, and I turn around to make sure that the drill dog is following me. Come here, boy. And then I'll just boing, 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 bound down.
Yeah. The drill hound like leaps, grabs onto your back, almost like a piggyback as you like bound down the slope, and then you feel that it's like stable, like it's like leaning, it's like helping you go down the slope almost. Like if you were a motorcycle, it's leaning in with the turn. So then as you get to the bottom, it'll like leap off of you and then like start running next to you.
Sweet.
So cool.
Otto, you go down the other side. I'm gonna need you to roll a might or a speed, difficulty 1, just to make sure you don't trip down the slope.
18.
You just in a few strides. I think. Tell me how you arrive with style in front of these people who are running away in a way that catches their attention so that you're able to kind of like stop them.
Oh god.
On an 18 down that slope, that's like a flourish.
Can I be so extremely nonchalant about it? Like our grade 10 math teacher, he used to go down the steps 2 at a time, but he did it so smooth, like it was as if he was
Yo.
just gliding. But he would get down in like 6 steps because he was skipping 6. So I just like I take the long strides, but my body moves so naturally that I'm just like, oh, he only took 5 steps, but like he's already down the fucking mountain and his hands are just like by his side, head tilted, watching. Like
Sounds like
he
a
could probably
JoJo
catch up with
pose.
us if we try and run from him. Let's
Yeah,
see what he
the
wants.
person in the league kind of just like comes to a slow stop in front of you, just like looks up at the cliff, looks down at you, and goes, "Oh wow, that was quite the run."
Tend not to try and break a sweat. I don't mean to hold you up for too long. I know you're running from danger. But we are trying to help, and we need help from you, as we have not encountered this creature before. And you seem to definitely have.
Yes, of course. He like seems just distracted by you for a second. Um, and Otto, it's like you can tell that his eyes are a little bit bigger, a little bit darker. This might be one of your people. It looks mostly human, and just turns back towards the forest and goes, There was another one of us, um, one of the one of the people who woke up. Sorry, it's still confusing, but they were bitten by that huge chicken, and now we ran away, and then someone was like, I think I have fire powers, and then that person like shows up and he's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do that. That was crazy. And as he like wipes his head, Otto, you see like they have like feathers scattered in with their hair, just like red feathers. It's like that was crazy. Did you see that bird? And it's like turns back and he's like, oh my god, it put out the fire. We gotta go. We need more people on this. This thing is huge. Did you see it? Did you see this thing? It could like carry a goat in one hand, one of its talons.
Yes, quite large. There's a grouping of individuals seeming to be made of stone. They should be gathering in groups now, or in a singular group. Tell them the man with the strange protrusion on his forehead is engaging in battle. If they wish to join, please lead them here, or at least
Yeah.
point them in the right direction.
All right, you guys go. And then so the others, like this kind of like group, like they mostly look like normal humans, and so they go. But the one with the feathers in their hair kind of like stops, looks at you, Otto, and says, "We weren't like this before, were we?"
No, you are not. But by the grace of No, not God. Something larger than you. You are here and you are better.
Dr. Mario Hiroyoko.
See the
Hmm.
chest puff up a little. Roll me an intellect.
12.
This is kind of an insight. You're getting a read on them. Do you have any assets that you would apply?
To beep, 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 beep. Trained in any task involving learning something new, such as digging through a library, data bank, news archive, or similar collection of knowledge. I guess not really. If it's just talking.
I'll give it to you because this is an emotion. This is a feeling you haven't seen before, and it's faith.
I can see
And
through deception if I feel like that faith is a lie.
Ooh.
you
I'm
get the
very
sense
much true.
that your words have rung true with this person, and that mentioning a god and a purpose has helped guide them in some way to some sort of a decision that ended up being based on faith now. And as they get this look of like determination, they just nod and go. They sprint off towards the rest of the pack, and you see as they run, they take a step, and it looks like a little bit of like a flaming outline as they like speed up, and they like basically like get back to the group of people that were running and are able to lead them over to the rest of the people.
Okay. I watch him leave with interest for a second, and then I'll turn around and head slowly towards the others because I'm still very weak, even at my strongest. So I won't get too close.
Yeah, remembering all the battles.
Yeah.
kind of covered. All right, as you approach, Quinn, you're still up on there looking through the D-pad.
Yeah, I've got the list. I figured out what I can do. I think I'm the perfect person to be communicating with these people. One thing I want to do and ask a mentor, I want us to create a database of all the people here. Picture and name to start.
Mentor's like, we're gonna have to get closer, and we're gonna need to
Yeah,
like one by one. We're gonna have to talk to people.
yeah, that's my goal. Because at this point, I feel responsible for them. I want to get to know everyone. Just like on the ship, we built the home by building friendships first.
He looks at you and goes, "We did."
Well,
I think that breaks your heart a little.
I guess your dad and I did. That makes sense.
My dad.
Listen, mentor, before you showed up, I had someone else. I I had a different AI, a friend, for a long time. You're technically a product of my friend and another AI.
So I have two dads.
Sure, you can say parents. You have two parents.
Got it.
And you're hopefully the best of both of them.
Well, from what I can tell, that's what a parent wishes for a child.
Yeah, that is true. So, with your help, we're gonna get through all these people. You're gonna build new friendships, and you're gonna be part of it. Okay?
Sounds like you're spearheading a great new initiative, Quinn. And he kind of like comes over, like goes down and reaches out his hand. He says, "To a new partnership."
To new partnership. And I shake his hand.
He's like
Its
a little.
hand.
He's little. He like enlarges a little bit, but it's not
Even
enough.
if it's a little finger, I'll grab the finger, and if it's that small.
He gives you the whole hand, but yeah, you
Okay.
have to like pinch it.
That's all good.
All right, and so you head towards the group of people then to
Yeah.
start categorizing.
Especially because if they do speak a different language, I'm able to translate it, baby. Let's go.
Ooh,
D-pad coming in hand.
hell yeah! You get down and I think like you have the language thing locked and loaded, and you're just like,
Mhm.
hey, what language do you speak? And the first person's like, oh, English, of course. You notice everybody kind of speaks the same language here,
Mhm.
luckily for them, because they're already trying to communicate. And I think you start maybe coordinating with Kaylin right away, and as you start talking to people.
Mhm.
Kaylin's going to relay 2 important things to you, one of which
Okay.
is not everyone is awake with yet. So the people
Okay.
who are not awake are being watched over by people of like group.
Mhm.
And 2 is that the people who are awake, they've been told to like go drink water, and then basically form up with their species.
Similar.
Yeah, they're similar kind of
Like-minded.
people. Um,
Yeah.
they like were mixing a little bit, but then they noticed that the people who appeared more human, you can't tell apart after, or at least they can't really do it. So then they were like, wait, should we be mixing? And so they've kind of like stopped. They're trying to figure it out again. They're like, oh wait, where did you wake up? What's going on? So they're just trying to organize a little bit back into the kind of groups that they were at.
Sounds good. I'm gonna tell Mentor. Let's also give them categories. The people that we're rating down. Maybe depending on their strength.
Ooh, so we're judging people. He pulls up a list.
Not directly, but noticing what they're naturally good at.
That still sounds like some sort of rating.
Evaluation.
Not fully against it. Everyone deserves to be rated in terms of their competency and their ability. And
Just
you
don't
see him
be
just like
harsh with it, okay? We're just trying to figure out if we got some cooks around or some natural hunters or, you know, what each is good at. For example, I would be terrible at doing this normally. My skill is just communicating with people and delivering messages, but in this case, I gotta that. They have something they're good at.
you hear him sigh. He goes, "Oh, this is 2,000 interviews. It's going to take a while."
We'll figure something out. It doesn't have to be all today. We can just get on that
Beat of
start.
sweat drop. Incredible. So you start to be doing that, and then we flash back over to the other side of the pit, the kind of like cliff, where flames dying out, embers like spreading in front of them. Will running with Tomas and the drill hound, and there's a big. "Ah!" This basilisk is in front of you. This huge chicken-like lizard creature. What are we doing? We fighting? We trying to tame this thing? We trying to intimidate it, shoo it away? What's going on?
Lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yes.
Absolutely.
Looks like a chicken. Maybe it'll taste like chicken.
Incredible. All right, I'm not even gonna roll initiative. Basically, it put out the fire and was like gonna start pursuing you, but you guys are running full on straight at it. I think you can kind of like come out the gate swinging. So let's go. What are we doing?
I
jump
guess.
at it.
Yeah, and I'll cast, I suppose, onslaught, which is the I don't know, like the fireball that I'd been using before.
Mm-hmm. All right, roll the hit.
Alrighty.
Roll for Yucky Boy.
18.
The hits.
Okay. 4 points of damage.
You badly, so many feathers burn up. Half its body is like burned. You hear like a screech of pain. And like stumbles forward. That's Tomas.
Yeah, so I'm running at it. I'm like getting low to the ground. Looks like I'm about to pounce. I'm going to activate my emotional frenzy. And so the little face begins to shift colors and it turns pink and it just goes, it just starts screaming like it's terrified, reflecting the emotions of the people who are running away just before. And so instead of jumping at the basilisk, Tomas actually just like runs right past it. And then kind of like as he's running past, maybe like tries to grab a handful of its feathers and like drag it along with it. So I'm just gonna do like an unarmed strike and rip out as many feathers as possible.
Oh, yeah, just like grab a chunk. Sure.
Yeah. I will use a effort. That's a 19.
Ooh,
Um,
minor effect.
does your you do 4 damage
It's 4 damage, yeah.
plus the damage from the 19?
Unless you want to like target a specific area with the 19 or some other.
Usually it's 3 additional points of damage with a 19, or you can
Okay.
target the specific body part.
Yeah, that's what I meant, like a specific area.
It's up to you. Do you want to do 7 damage, or do you want to do?
Oh, okay. Well, actually, wait. Let me see the picture. This thing has. Oh, it's got like a snake tail, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like picturing. Yeah. So I'll like run past it and then like see the snake face, and I'll kind of like slam its mouth shut in case it tries to like bite out at me. And then yeah, he's just gonna like pull along with it. So he's targeting the snake head specifically, but he's still running away from the basilisk. So he's like trying to like stretch / snap this snake tail off of the basilisk.
On a 19, the extra damage you do, I think like you run past it, and this burning half like charred basilisk like hits the ground and bounces up, and you just slam it by the tail, and the whole thing just and it does not move. It's done. You guys kill it right away, and you have. Smells real good. Smells like barbecue.
Yeah, I got a good like another like maybe 20, 30 feet of running in fear.
Are you holding it, like pulling it along?
Yeah, maybe I'll like get like go towards the forest, but then I'll like stop, and then the
Wait,
face
no,
will like.
Tomas, come back. That's
Really?
lunch.
Like, you're like running and like just like smacking.
Yeah, and then I get a whiff of the charred chicken, and it's like, and the face like goes back to sleep, and it's like, oh, and yeah, I'll start bringing it back to Wilm.
Let's bring it back to the others, and I've never had a chicken like this, but the chickens I have had have usually been defeathered, so I feel like this is going to be quite an endeavor, but big chicken wings at least.
Could always eat around the feathers.
I mean, aside from the chunk that you tore out, there's no other place to go around them. It's covered.
Let's not waste any time.
We do need to bring it back though. And I guess I'll help Tomas drag it along.
Right, perfect. Between the two of you, I think it's mostly Tomas dragging it. Like every once in a while, and it's like gets caught in a rock or something. You just like give it a little kick, and then you just keep going. I was going to grab. This doesn't make me
I'll start
hungry.
like pulling out feathers, I guess, if possible.
Ooh, baby.
It's not a vegan podcast. Do you pull, or do you just like cast more fire to like burn off the feathers?
I'll look at the area that I already, I guess, singed, and did it burn away the feathers like enough that it's like, basically like a plucked chicken, or does it seem like it left to like little bits and?
Realistically, there's still little bits of like the feather in it, like it's not properly plucked, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like it does smell good. Probably it needs to be properly prepared.
That's it. So I'll start like just ripping, I guess.
Just that Tomas is running. He's like.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna do like precise about it because it's just I'm just gonna grab trying to grab handfuls, I guess.
Because he's running really fast, right? So you're like running up and you're like, "Gah!" And you go like grab some feathers, and then he's like still running. You like catch up again. You like grab. Some
Why
more.
not? Or
So there's this
try and like just go
parade of
on,
chicken going on.
go piggyback on the thing on Tomas and just pull it up.
Incredible. Otto, you like see this coming towards you. Will standing on the chicken, just like ripping a bunch of feathers out as Tomas is like pulling the whole thing.
Goodness. I wanted to get some information on this thing, but now it's just a cooked chicken. So.
Yo, look at that rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
It makes me crave chicken right now.
It looks so good. What
I'm
the
feeling the
heck?
rumbly in my dumbly.
Yeah. God, why do
I-
chickens gotta look like that? Damn.
Where's QT?
I'm with the peeps.
Interviewing 2,000 people.
Categorizing. Yeah, pretty much. Well, okay, it's not okay. I can use the people to send message to other people. It's the idea of trying to not categorize by species, but by like jobs. Like, are there
Mhm.
people who know how to fish, baby? Because we might need
Segregation
that.
from the get-go.
I mean, I'm just
We just woke up. We need to segregate now. Valid. If you're not too far, I'll go listen to what you're doing.
I might need your help, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
But to begin with, just the name is enough to start.
Mhm. It
Just the
always
picture
starts
and the
there.
name.
I might need your help to not segregate.
You know, cordoning off the people with your web.
Cordon them off.
I didn't say that, okay? You guys are putting words in my mouth now.
We are.
So as the chicken arrives back at camp,
But we need
that
more than
good
just chicken.
smell, I think starts to permeate the air, and everybody's just falling in line. I think right away people are like, "I'm hungry.
It's not gonna be
Chicken
enough food, guys.
food. We have to." Someone like comes up to you, Quinn, and is like, "Hey, like you're interviewing people. Like, are you assigning roles?"
I'm not assigning them. You guys have to choose
Oh,
what you think you're good at.
I'm a cook. Can I go cook that? And there's like some drool
I'm pretty sure
coming
it's
down.
already cooked. The smell is coming from. Oh no.
cooked at all.
Okay. I can't take decisions, Mentor, can you take this decision for me? I'm
Everyone's like,
Oh, God, we're
already.
More AI. I can't just. I just like looks at the person. He's like, "Go cook the thing." And just go. He's like, "Quinn, back me up. We're doing this together. You're in charge."
Tossing all the work. It's delegation at its finest.
I can
The
only
person shows
think of
up
one thing
with
at
the
a
chicken,
time.
just like fucking everything like super quickly, and is like, "I know exactly what to